Hey guys, Mate here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a build that I think is honestly insane. Really cheap, and it competes with M4s. Kind of unreal. It's a AK-102. Pretty cheap. You can find one of these on the flea market for right around 30,000. Sometimes you can find them as low as like 25, 24 around. So, to keep this cheap, these are all the parts that we're. At the bottom here we have some options. We'll get to those when we get to those. But starting off, to keep it cheap, we're just be sticking with the basic AK-74M stock, like the gun. And we're just gonna be throwing a buttstock on that. You can find one of these for really cheap on pretty early level traders, so you're not gonna worry about that. Almost everything here, well, everything here except for items like this, like this sight, for example, you can get really early on low level traders. Just for reference, I'm only level 27, and most of my experience is from like killing people and like looting around unnecessarily tasks. This should be pretty accessible for most people. Next, we're just going to be throwing on the Bastion. Get a little more recoil out of it. Keeping it cheap with the RP1. We're not going to be going with the other charging handle. It's a little too expensive. Trying to keep this as cheap as possible. Kind of min-maxing everything we can. Then we're just going to be going with the MOE handguard here, just the AKM. A little saw grip. And then we're just going to be going with the M-Lock AFG. Saves a couple thousand rubles getting the rail. You know, you can just chuck that on there, don't have to worry about it. So here's where some of the options come in. This is where it can be a little cheaper, a little more expensive. When it comes to sights, if you want to stay on the cheap end, I recommend any of these three options. You have the MRS, the PK-120, and the Cobra. If you're going to get the Cobra, I definitely recommend getting the Nightshade. It gives you ergo. Like when it's all said and done, it'll actually give you ergo. You have 79, now you have 80. So if you're trying to go for min-maxing stats, definitely go for this one. If you do want to spend a little bit more rubles, I recommend going for the XPS3-2. It does have two little dots in the center instead of one little dot, and like the holographic. But if you're gonna if this is like 29,000 rubles, so if you want to spend a little bit more, you can. Now, you have two different options. Both of them are pretty cheap. They're relatively the same price. Alright, if you want to go quiet, you want to if you want to go suppressed, I recommend, just go with the Rotor 43. It's significantly cheaper than the other suppressor that you have options to. This gun can only have two different suppressors on it. You don't have very many options in regards to muzzle attachments, unfortunately. And if you're going loud, which is what I recommend you do, get better recoil stats. This only gets rid of 9. This gets rid of 19 recoil. I love this little thing, this little RDC, or RD4C. Put that little thing on there, that's what I recommend you do. For the sight, I'm going to spend a little more. I'm going to get a little bit of a better sight. And there you go, your gun's done. You have 75 ergo, 43 vertical recoil, 144 horizontal recoil. That's really it. Now, this is going to cost you around $130,000, $140,000. It's all said and done. And I do believe that that price is with this site, so it can be even cheaper if you go for one of the sites. But just right around there, and that's including the price of the gun. This is traders. This is, if you don't have access to any traders and you have flea market, the gun's not going to be that much more. None of these attachments. So I'm gonna load this up. I'm shooting 5.6A1. Now, I have down here, this is a similarly priced, and by similarly priced, I mean it's within 5,000 rubles. I believe this M4 actually costs more. I went ahead and built one that's pretty much the same price. Tried to match the stats as good as possible. And the stats are, every gun's stats are different than, you can't compare the 72 ergo to the 65 ergo in the M4. Not really how the stats work, but here's Here's them side by side if something you're interested in. I'm going to show you guys now. We're going to head into the range, some different shooting tests. Alright, now that we're in the range, I'm first going to show off just the M4. We're going to do this one first. I'm going to show both controlled recoil and uncontrolled recoil, so you guys can get a really good idea of that. I'll fold these poppers. So first we're going to do uncontrolled. That's uncontrolled. See, we hit the first bullet. We hit the first bullet on that, so that's good. At least we hit the first shot. Try to control the recoil a little bit. Alright, minus the one bullet in the center. That's what it looks like controlled. Switching over to the AK-102 now. Remember, this AK-102 is significantly cheaper than like the meta M4 or even like a good M4 build. Same ammunition though. And you guys have to remember, ammunition's what really matters. It's the ammo that matters, not the gun. Alright, you can have the best gun in the game, but if you're shooting the worst ammo type, it's not gonna matter. Alright, you really gotta get that in your head. Alright, here goes uncontrolled on the AK-102. So that's uncontrolled one already. Let's say we hit a lot more than one bullet there. Switch over, clear the targets. Try to control it a little bit. And remember, I am pretty bad at this game. So honestly, I feel like I'm a better not controlling it with this damn laser beam. I would say the shooting range speaks for itself. I really recommend you guys check out this build. Super cheap, super effective. Hope you guys enjoy.